2005 Mercury Montego with a CVT transmission. So I went to check the fluid. First thing that happened was the dipstick handle broke off. So the only place I could find a new tube and dipstick was on eBay, which I ordered. So anyway, servicing the high pressure filter. There's a bolt right here you can get from here with the air box removed that loosens up the lines so they can move. Okay, then you come around here, wheel off, wheel turn, rotor turn toward the driver's side. Okay, two rivets I took out, tied up the flap, as you can see, and took off the motor mount, which is this thing here, right? Two most bottom bolts and the 4 on the engine. It goes that way actually. So then, with the car jacked up, chalked, with stands for safety, and also a jack underneath the oil pan of the CVT. Then you take the motor mount out, otherwise the engine will drop. Okay, and that's the beast right there. See it right there with the tubes in it. Mine has 80,000 miles. It's 2022. The lines, I couldn't budge them. So, and they weren't leaking, so I left them alone. Took that bolt off up top. Problem was with the TORX, even with an impact, a handheld hammer impact, one of them stripped out. So it's a T27. So what I used on it, I smashed a T30 into the stripped out T27 and was able to break it loose and take it out. So since then I've replaced it with hex bolts, grade 8 6mm bolts, 3 of them. The top bolt there, don't confuse that with the other one on the engine block. Got one there. I had to take the tube screw out to get to it. You got that one there, that one there. Then just 2 pry bars and slowly wiggle it out. I replaced the O-ring on the housing. The tube I could not move, and I wasn't going to damage it and get stuck with it in there, so I left it. The tube O-rings, I didn't replace them either. So I want to paint it silver to see if it leaks at all later. And that's basically it. You pry that, you drain your fluid, which is what I did. I'll tell you about that in a second. And drained the fluid, came up here, measured it. Then I drained this, measuring that too, and then wiped everything down. New filter, new O-ring, not a new tube, and not O-rings on the tubes. So that's where we're at now with that. The drain plug stripped out. It's a TORX. So I basically used an easy out, tapped on the plug and pulled it out. Then what I replaced it with was this, a 090-033 CD Dorman 14 by 1.5 drain plug, and it's the same thread. It's got a big PVC gasket, and it looks like it'll work. So the high pressure filter cover, that's the one that had a T27. I had to pound in a T30. And that's what the bolt normally looks like. So I replaced it with hex bolts for now. Put button screws in next time I do it. Okay, so I sprayed it, the housing, silver. So the next time, or after I fill it and start it, I can check for leaks. This is the fluid I'm using in it, the Valvoline, because you can tell if you look up the Ford spec on this for a CVT 30 transmission, this meets it with the XT-7 fluid, which is what this is. So the Valvoline CVT ATF is comparable to the CVT 30. On the 6 bolts I took out of the motor mount, I'll be using Permatex THREADLOCKER Orange, which is high strength but removable without heat. Thank you.